No one knows about my diagnosis of being diabetic because it's just the stigma. Diabetes, oh yeah, it's your fault.
And then she was like, well, I'm just tired of like not telling my story. Then I was like, oh, okay, then I'll be there. I'll be there with you.
I'm trying to be brave. It's going to be an adventure, I guess. I don't talk about diabetes because it's emotionally draining. It can be emotionally tasking to, and are we really going to, am I really going to be able to have a conversation with someone where it's going to come from a place where I want to understand you, or I already have this judgment and perspective about you, and I'm only going to talk to you from that perspective. I think also for fear and shame in a sense of that, oh, you know better. Like you went to school with this, your mom, complications for this, what happens with this, like, better, like you're smart enough to know. If it's coming from like strangers, I just notice it and I move on from it. But I think family, your opinion matters more because I do life with you.
Are you ever worried for her?
Yes. I feel like generally speaking, I just see her do life, as normal. And, every once in a while she'll like express concern about it. But I feel like it's something she probably thinks about more within herself than she shares with like most people and even me. So I'll probably just get like a small bit of like the sharing compared to what she actually experiences. Yeah.
So this seems like the first step for you to really come out and talk about it.
Pretty
with
much.
her first, and then from that will lead to other people.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to be brave in a sense of like, and I don't know if my family's gonna see this. I would like to think that they know my heart and they know my character. And when you think about those two things, if I haven't shared it with you, it's just knowing the things that you know about Christelle. Like my family, those who know me know that, oh, Christelle expresses herself. Why is this such like a big burden for her that's like weighing heavy on her for her to not share? So hopefully we're able to lean into that conversation.
I think doing this is like, a step in like the progress of like, sharing her story and using her voice, and then getting more comfortable having her feelings be valid just because they're like her feelings, and that's okay. Yeah. And I just want to encourage her that, she should just go, like, go live her life. Don't shrink back. Don't stay comfortable. Like, be bold and like do all the hard things that she can do. Yeah.
I'm still nervous, but I do know that doing the hard things makes life easier. So
came to the right place. Let's do it. You ready? Let's do it.
I already hear it.
You're like, I like to go deep. I'm like, we came to the right spot. We're about to go deep. Key is two things. Create the space and ask well-constructed questions. So this is the end space. 2 chairs, simple chairs, close together, low coffee table, a rug, questions for each one. Ultimately, what's most important is having the capacity, not necessarily for the answers, but for the ability to sit in the discomfort of the questions.
In what ways do you feel culture and family have affected your relationship and experience with diabetes?
Culture-wise, I think, from our culture, I would say the generation before us, they just go right for the jugular. It's something that I observed where, I was around family, but we're on a trip. But anyhow, the subject came up of someone within the group that was talking about a family member of theirs who has diabetes and complications. And I think, I could see that there's more compassion towards someone facing any other diagnoses, but diabetes is like, oh, what did you do? Just the comments that were made and the things that were said. And the more they spoke, the more I shrunk. And it made me feel like, oh, Christelle, you really cannot come to them with this. What is one experience you wish I never had when it comes to having diabetes, and why?
One experience I wish you never had. I mean, I think the thing you just explained just now, like overhearing a conversation about something that you are currently walking through, and that can feel like, oh man, like that's hard, So it's not like that can feel like a really harsh place to be in. And also because it feeds into like the narrative that you tell yourself, like, oh, I don't have any safe spaces. So now another thing comes, and then like it makes that narrative like stronger and louder. So I wish you had like less experiences with like those kinds of like narratives. That way you would have more room to like keep pushing and create a different narrative. But I know there's like so much like piled on that tells you a different story, that it's like, oh, now I have to like unlearn all these like beliefs that I've built around like that narrative to like change my life.
Yeah.
My turn. Okay. In what ways do you feel your journey with diabetes has changed you?
I would say I've put myself in a cocoon, I would say. I think, spend many years trying to live in something, it's like almost like a secret life. Like even with taking medication and if I'm around family, it's like, I don't want them to know.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen you check your blood sugar or even like seen you take your medication if you don't have like picked it up for you.
Yeah. It just feels like extra work. Like it's extra work. I don't know. It's like, it's so interesting to hear that question, because I've been on autopilot about it in that world for like so long that I never thought about it as like, oh, I've just created this world. There are these procedures and stuff to do, like, oh, a family member is going to come over. Make sure they don't see the sharps container. Make sure they don't see my, medication that needs to be refrigerated until I open it. Hide it somewhere, or they don't need to see the needle marks, even location of wherever it is that, I inject insulin. Like, I don't want them to see that.
I mean, that's a lot of hard work, having to like do all of that, like hiding.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is exhausting. But it's what I chose, and I know I can choose different, but, I want to lean into what that different looks like. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, you did. And I've also seen you grow like in a positive way, though. I think you're more compassionate as a person too now because of your experience with diabetes.
Yeah. Why do you think I haven't shared with my family that I have type 2 diabetes?
I think there are multiple reasons why I think you haven't shared it. I think one, you're afraid that you will not be received with love and compassion, like you said. But then I also think you're afraid that you would have to do the hard work of like taking care of something you're trying to like avoid, So I think part of it is true that people have said negative things. They have like treated you like poorly or like made comments. But then part of it as well is like you're afraid of like succeeding or like doing something different that's hard So then therefore you like don't do it. And then that way now you'll have like a reason to like stay comfortable being uncomfortable, because doing the hard thing is like hard, you know? You'd have to be accountable. You'd have to like be seen trying and like failing, if that makes sense. Because I feel like, you know, I've told you I'm proud of you, but then I think now you can do harder things, you know, without my being proud or anyone else being proud of you. I think you can just do hard things for yourself because you are worth it. I think sometimes like, you know, I know like, at least I deal with like worth issues and things like that. And I know you deal with that too, to like a certain degree, but I think like you can do hard things for yourself. Yeah. That you are worth it enough. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. In what ways can I support you more with your diabetes?
You know, I think you've started to, in a sense, because when I wanted to like self-isolate, like you and like you guys called it out, and I had to turn back around and just be like,
I know you have your own place now. It's easy for you to just be like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not seeing anyone. But then you're going to like keep being alone.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think even if it's just a community of one, a community is community. And I had to like do the hard thing and be like, oh no, Christelle, like you need support. You don't need to feel overwhelmed. You can lean on others
Yeah.
and allow yourself to be emotionally naked. To be like, hey, remember your communities here. It could be our church. It could be our friends. It could be family. Like, hey, or continue to build the community, like holding me accountable and reminding me of that, I would say.
Okay. Got you. Got you. Your turn.
What is your greatest wish for me and why?
Oh, okay. My greatest wish for you is for you to be free of fears, self-imposed limits. I want you to feel bold enough to actually be yourself and to share your story without like shame. Like every part of your life matters for a reason, for you and then for other people. So I think the more free you are to like show up as you really are, the more you'll feel loved, the more you'll feel appreciated, the more you feel welcomed in spaces, because you're just being you. And, you know, other people can see your heart too, and you won't be misunderstood because your heart is leading first, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I just want you to be free to lead with your heart and be seen and all the things. That's all.
Thanks, Boo.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you.
Oh, God.
You're going to blush and like turn red.
Lord. Chill. It was deep.
Was it?
It was deep. Yeah, some really good questions there. Very insightful. Yeah, there's a lot that I shared that I didn't think, you know, that have been suppressed, like thoughts and feelings and emotions, and like I've cocooned myself in shame and fear and such, that even the idea of like allowing one person in just feels like a lot. I have just had to lean more into that, because I think there's just a lot more that that's been suppressed for 10 plus years that I have yet to explore, or that I've run away from, that I need to run towards.
I don't think I understood the magnitude of what it meant to her because it wasn't like expressed to me. But even if something is not expressed to me, I can still be aware to like, you know, be more attuned to what may be going on. It's like, I'm like, oh, wow, she goes a long way to like really not include people in this area of her life. And it kind of makes me feel like it must mean a lot. There's a lot of like pressure, like deep feelings there. You know, that leads you to do that. And that's like lonely sometimes, to like do things by yourself. And I hope like, you know, she doesn't keep doing that. Yeah.
But you didn't realize that before.
I didn't know she was like really going to that length to like keep it away from like other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much work I was doing to just really hide it. It didn't occur to me until it was said out loud.
What if those like you who haven't and don't let people know about it? What's your advice to them? What's your advice to Christelle?
Like, this doesn't define you. This is something that's happening to you. It's like, don't feel any shame about it. Nia was able to give me insight, like a different perspective about leaning towards folks. I don't know if my family's gonna see this, if somebody will, maybe a person, a friend of a friend of a friend, because our network, the Haitian population, we're everywhere. So if one person sees this, I hope that we're able to, it leads to like an open door, an invitation for them to have a conversation with me with compassion and patience and kindness. And not saying that my family doesn't have that, but I hope we get to that. So yeah, it's just push past the fear. And it's a little scary to think of what that's gonna look like when they do know. So, but whatever that looks like, I want them to know I want to lean forward, and I want to invite them to have the conversation with me. Yeah. And giving the benefit of the doubt, for sure.
Like, she's the person, she's got things that she's dealing with, and diabetes is one of those things. I want to be there and walk you through the journey with diabetes, but then I just want to be there just in your life, period. It's not going to be the center of our relationship, I feel like. But I think it will be more of a component that does matter more. I think me having more awareness, me having more insight, her being more vulnerable and open about it will shift the dynamic of our relationship, but in a way where there's no judgment or shame, but just awareness and just friendship and love and support. Having diabetes matters, but it's not all that she is. So I have to give it the proper space that it needs to matter, but not let it overwhelm our friendship. Yeah.
What's your advice to anybody who doesn't have diabetes and that can't live it, but what's their way of understanding?
Have a conversation. Try to understand. Lead with compassion.
Ask more questions, go deeper, be more attuned, listen better.
Navigate away from the common culture of let's not talk about this. Where now we know we're in a generation now where we're oh, we can talk about things, we can do the hard conversations.
And I think empathy is a great bridge. I don't need to fully live your experience to be empathetic. I may not fully know, but I can walk with you. I can understand to a certain degree. I can empathize with what you're going through. Yeah. I think if you lead with love instead of fear, then you'll be good. Yeah.